Hi, I'm Dave and welcome to day 11 of RPGaDay 2021, the global initiative to try and get everybody talking in a positive way about tabletop RPGs. Today's prompts I have not looked at in advance, so be warned, there may be some staring into space while I wonder what the hell I'm going to talk about. The first one is wilderness. I tried so hard to make sure that the main prompt for each day is the same letter as the day of the week. So it's Wednesday, that's Wilderness Day. What to talk about? When it comes to wilderness, first thing that comes to mind is the old wilderness survival guide for D&D. But that's going back a bit, isn't it? Okay, yeah, I always remember that one. Don't think I used it that much, but there was always a copy of it on the table whenever we played AD&D. Strange how it's one of those essential books that you always had to have, a bit like Unearthed Arcana. And I don't remember using the Wilderness Survival Guide that much. Unearthed Arcana, of course, that got used all the time because it had some extra character classes in there, and everybody immediately went straight for those ones. This has kind of detoured a little bit off of wilderness, hasn't it? So what else does wilderness very well? I think Forbidden Lands is very good for wilderness stuff. Haven't played it, but from what I've read of it, it's very cool. And the One Ring has plenty of wandering around and epic quests and stuff like that. That was great. Okay, so enough of wilderness. Let's have a look at the other three topics for the day. The next one is listen. Nope, can't hear anything. It's not very exciting out there. All I can hear is the sound of the rain. But sounds are quite important in games, and it's another one of those things that goes back to what was day 2, wasn't it, that had senses as well. Try and remember to bring in the other senses when it comes to your player characters, just to try and add a bit more atmosphere into the environment. So yeah, try and, when you're going into that dungeon, try and get those weird echoey sounds reverberating around. And I suppose that also leads into, do you have any sound effects that you use when you're gaming? I must admit, when I was a teenager, all I ever did was have music on in the background. I remember playing an awful lot of Traveller with Jean-Michel Jarre playing along in the background, and I'm sure a lot of the people who had to suffer my awful GMing probably would complain that I only really had the one All About Eve CD that I played repeatedly during the game, but at least it was quiet and in the background, so it didn't interrupt the game too much. What's the next one? Heavy. Oh, this is getting a little bit repetitive, I'm afraid, because when I think of heavy, I think of what I was discussing for last Saturday's topic, which was small, when I mentioned about small RPGs being more portable. And when I think of heavy, I do remember having to lug rule books about, and I remember bringing home that deluxe collector's edition of Shadowrun and almost giving myself a hernia. So yeah, small, portable. I like that. It's not so heavy. Which reminds me, have you seen the new tricorder version of Star Trek that Modiphius announced? That was something I was discussing with them back when I actually worked with Modiphius at the beginnings of Star Trek. I'm really glad to see it come to light. I really must get a hold of one of those. Looks great, and it makes the books smaller and more portable, and you can even wear it, so you can, when you're going off to your game, you're carrying it around with you. It's brilliant. So anyway, and the last one is despair. I've tried really hard to make sure that all the prompts and all the topics and everything like that for RPGaDay are positive, so I can't remember why I put despair as a prompt. When it comes to the word despair, the thing that leaps to mind are those Star Wars dice. Yeah, you know the ones. Fantasy Flight Star Wars. It's just over my shoulder there, in that Darth Vader bag thing that's there, or are the special dice for it. And on the bad dice, the red ones, the difficulty dice, when you roll a bad result on there, you get the little despair symbol. You know what I really enjoy about that Star Wars game is when you roll a despair and a triumph at the same time, and watching the mind having to kick into gear of our poor GM, sorry Stu, when he has to try and work out exactly what happened, because you did really, really well and something fantastic has come out of it, but you also did really, really badly and something bad's come out of it. And then you look at the results of the successes and fails to see whether you actually succeeded or not. But something good has happened and something bad has happened as well. Or is that when you roll like 7 successes and a despair, or something like that, where you've attempted something and it's gone really, really well, but there's that looming doom awaiting around the corner that you know that the GM's got in the back of their mind all the time. Anyway, enough of that. That'll do for today, I think. Don't forget to join in and share your thoughts about the prompts using the hashtag RPGaDay2021. And until tomorrow, stay safe and stay multi-classy.